Буквально недавно завершился наш такой большой тур, большая поездка по азиатскому региону. Началось это 6 мая в Индии. Наша компания принимала участие в большой выставке Smart Cities, умные города. Небольшая предыстория. Smart Cities — это программа, которая несколько лет уже действует в Индии. Для индусов провели конкурс, выбрали определенное количество городов, претендующих на статус умных, определили программу финансирования и начали теперь думать, что же такое умный город, какие технологии превращают город в умный. До выставки мы подписали соглашение, это было 9 числа, в резиденции штата в Дели, провели официальные мероприятия, в том числе и для журналистов. Соответственно, с 10 по 12 мая в городе Дели проходила выставка «Умные города». И нашей целью, первой целью поездки в Индию было принять участие. У нас был организован стенд, достаточно большой по масштабам выставки. И там мы должны были презентовать концепцию от умного города к умному государству. Потому что умные города поодиночке являются точечными инновационными пунктами. И только объединение и сеть с помощью высокоэффективных транспортных решений не позволяет перейти от разобщенных умных городов к сообщенному умному государству. Это была наша основная идея, которую мы хотели донести на выставке.
Well, good evening, guys. Hope you enjoyed that video. Welcome to the webinar tonight, and I hope everyone is having a nice night. This is the introduction of the India technology that's going to be put into that country. So I hope you enjoy the presentation that's going to be coming up very shortly. I'd like to thank everybody also who has turned up tonight, as well as the people who have been coming here every week and supporting us. This is brought to you by SkyWay New Zealand Group, part of Global Transnet, which is part of our umbrella as well, SkyWay. For the people who don't know who I am, my name is Darren Haywood, and I've been with the company since February this year, and right from the start I could see the bigger picture. Straight away I decided to become a shareholder with the company, as well as a private investor. And my background is in sales, financing, business management and marketing, so I did that for about the last 25 years. Now I'm just sort of more focusing on building a brand on this side of the world, and learning a bit more about marketing, and focusing more on building a team now, management, and also learning all the different things that is required to become a professional investor. So with that, guys, what are we all here today for? Okay, so this is what it's all about. This is a guy by the name of Anatoly Yunitsky. He was the founder of the company, and he started off with this idea about 40 years ago. And he's won many certificates and awards, over 100 different certificates and awards he's won. These are just some of them that he's got here. He's a scientific engineer. He's got a website you'll see down the bottom of the screen there, and if you want to find out more information about what he has been doing, you can click on, actually you have to write that in, that link, and that'll be able to tell you a bit more history on him. So what are some of the challenges that we can address? Now, I don't know whereabouts you guys are in the world, but it doesn't matter. I think where there's a lot of population, there's pollution, or traffic congestion, or more accidents, more tragedies, all that sort of thing as well comes with that. That's the price we pay because of this. It's really a global challenge, and in some countries you can see they're putting like face masks on and hankies and things like that to breathe through, so they're not having to breathe that air. They're trying to filter out the pollution. It's just unbelievable. Now, I've been to airports like this before and seen the same pollution. I just could not believe my eyes when I saw it. So the pollution may not be as great on this side of the planet, but still, if we don't do something about it now, it's going to get worse and worse. This is just a result of what is happening. And the problem with this picture or pictures here is that the problem is not going to be getting any better. Okay, as there's more and more outbreak of population, there's more and more congestion of traffic. So even in our waters now, it's not safe to anymore, go and eat seafood sometimes because it may be in polluted waters, or all this fallout from this pollution. It must be going somewhere. It's going, of course, it's going into our atmosphere. It's going into our waters as well, and it's going into our produce and everything that we eat. So it's not a good thing. So Anatoly Yunitsky initially started off getting this built back in about 2001. Back then he was testing heavy vehicles on the rail system to see that it could withstand the weight. Well, it all succeeded and everything worked out really well, from what you can see in the pictures there. Somebody that came along though that was jealous of his idea and wanted to destroy everything that he created, decided to destroy everything, and it set him back many years with his technology, and he wasn't able to continue at that point in time from where he'd got to. So fast forwarding it to 3 years ago, he was able to get all this up and running again and try out the actual SkyWay systems on the rails, and since then he has developed a lot. So this is the CEO of our company. Okay, his name is Andrei Haratov. He is obviously a billionaire, and he is here to educate us on how important it is to invest into shares and things like that. Not just into SkyWay itself, but he will also teach you how you can actually multiply or double or triple or quadruple your investment over many different areas, not just in SkyWay. So what his main job is to educate us on how you can actually have money working for you instead of you having to work for money. So 8 years approximately ago, he started up a company called the Academy, and since then he has merged with SkyWay. And about 3 years ago, he had a meeting with Anatoly Yunitsky, and they signed up a lot of different paperwork and things like that at the time to cement the deal and have everything in writing. And so he actually explained to him about this method that we're using today that is one of the best methods that can be used in the modern world, which will come down a little bit later too. So this is another video I want to show you guys on SkyWay technology, and you may have already seen it or you may not have, so I'll just play that for you anyway. Alright, so let's put that next one on. Next one. Okay, so these are the different SkyWay advantages. So they've got the high-speed system, which if a country wants to just maybe use it from city to city, that's the system that they would use there. If they would just want to use it for around the suburbs, that would be the better system on the top right. On the bottom left, they may not need to do either of those two. They may just need to connect it up to cargo or freight. And the other system on the right hand side is just the uni bike, which is just for small parks and things like that. So this was a exhibition that was recently done in Berlin, and you'll see on the top left there the uni bus, and next to that the uni bike. The uni bus is able to hold up to 14 passengers, whereas the uni bike is able to only hold up to 3 passengers. It's got all the latest technology built into that too, including Wi-Fi, massage chairs, exercise, and all that type of thing involved in there too. So it's like a thing you pedal, like a bike, with the sprockets and things like that in the uni bike. So you get a bit of fitness going too. So this is showcasing all our different products here, and this is the first time they've actually showcased the whole lot here at the one time. So this is showing the uni bus and the uni bike, and those two have recently received certification, and they're ready to go now, and after the 1st of July you'll see those being built in different cities. Now on the left hand bottom hand picture there you'll see Anatoly Unitsky standing there in the middle, just demonstrating how those things can be very safe. So he's not having to worry about any problem with that collapsing underneath, or with him underneath it. So sometimes people ask, well, what's the difference between you guys with your system and these other ones that are out there at the moment, like the magnetic levitation or the SkyTran or the Hyperloop? So the best thing that I thought we could do was to do a competitor analysis and just analyze all these other ones and see where they are at with their systems. So what we did was lay them all out against each other, side by side, and we found that with the magnetic levitation one, that could travel with speeds of up to 600 kilometers per hour. The Hyperloop could travel with speeds of up to 1,300 kilometers an hour, and the SkyTran could travel with speeds of up to 240 kilometers per hour. Okay, they had different safety standards as well. Like the SkyTran's safety standard was a high, whereas Hyperloop was a moderate. And I'm thinking that 1,300 kilometers an hour, moderate safety speed. Moderate safety standard. Magnetic levitation, high safety standard. And SkyWay obviously has got a very high safety standard with their technology. So we look at the pricing. SkyTran's around about the same as us, 6 million. We're 3 to 8 million, depending if it's suburban or intercity or intercountry. Hyperloop is $100 million per kilometre. 100 million per kilometre. Not so different either as magnetic levitation, which is 105 million kilometres. 105 million per kilometre. Whereas we're about 3 to 8 million there per kilometre. So let's look at the adaptability. SkyTran can only travel on flat ground within the cities. So after it gets out of the cities, it can't work. It's no good. It's useless. So that's great, isn't it? $6 million a kilometre, and they can only use it within cities. Again, with the Hyperloop, that can only be used on flat ground. So it's limited to only flat ground. Magnetic levitation is the same. It can only be used for flat ground. But if you look at SkyWay, it can be used on flat ground. It can be used on any terrain. It can be used across seas, oceans, mountains, jungles, deserts, anywhere. So you can imagine this can create a whole new environment, eco-friendly environment, where you may have seen in those videos with the linear cities that are going to be created in deserts, and the SkyWay system will be transportation system to transport those people from those desert areas to the cities. This is the Eco Techno Park. We're currently we're trying to at the moment raise $200 million for this Eco Techno Park to be completed. So far we've raised 27 million plus, and it just would take one or two investors to come in there and complete that $200 million. So that investment is predicted to happen by the end of this year. Now on the 1st of July, this Eco Techno Park is going to be open to the public. So it's going to be $15 for a ticket, and this is going to show you the whole demonstration of the SkyWay system in operation. Now on the right hand side of this you'll see this is the high speed one. You might have seen it in the video earlier. This is the high speed train system. Now there's 36.5 hectares of land here. Now recently the government have actually donated an extra 11k of land on top of that, just for the high speed train system to be able to reach its maximum speed of 500 kilometers per hour. Now next to that is the Unibus and the Unibike rails, and over to the left of that on the left hand side is the SkyWay cargo system. Now there's all this vegetation that's been planted, all these a lot of people have planted all this vegetation. They've planted plants, they've planted trees, they've planted tomatoes, they've planted all sorts of different vegetation in there, because before this land was taken over by SkyWay, it used to belong to the military. So you can imagine a lot of that land might be destroyed with a lot of the firing and bombings and things they've done with practice and things like that. So they're turning it back into natural type of land again. There's also going to be fish and things like that swimming around in the ponds, and you'll see it all there on the 1st of July. So it all started back when Anatoly Yunitsky was first introduced to crowdfunding by Andrei Haratov, and before that he never had any idea at all about what crowdfunding was even about. So he was approached, as I say, by the banks, hedge funds, investors, and he turned the whole lot of those down, and he said, I'm just going to wait until the right time for this to all happen. So fortunately he did do that, and we're really, really happy that he did, because if he hadn't of, he would have never ever met Andrei Haratov, who's basically changed his whole business for him and got him to the stage where he is today. So guys, if you're thinking about jumping on, we're at 9 stages of 15 now, and that's the demonstration and certification stage. By the 1st of July this year, that will be all over. That's the finish of it. D-Day, 1st of July 2017 is the final day to do anything. If you want to start now, you need to do that before that time. Anybody who is already in SkyWay who wants to either upgrade or start making a payment monthly on there, I would suggest and highly recommend that you do that now, because after that 1st of July there'll be no more payments allowed to be made. So between the 1st of July this year and 2020 or sooner, we are going on to the stock exchange for the initial public offering. So once that happens, the share prices of SkyWay are going to just skyrocket. Okay. Now I can say that with confidence because I have seen other companies like Microsoft, Apple, Coca-Cola that have become worldwide with some of the share prices that they've actually reached, and they're only like computer companies or tablet or phone companies. So can you imagine, guys, something like this, an infrastructure like this, as great as what this is, that's going to connect up world through this technology, is going to have a far higher amount of share price than any you know you know smart or mobile or computer company could ever do. So here's some of the countries now that the negotiations are happening in around the world, and there's a lot of government representatives, officials and that type of thing having meetings, discussions, board meetings, all that type of thing is happening as we speak at the moment. And I believe also Italy is now in negotiations with SkyWay too. So it's all happening, guys, and this thing is going to be really, really big. A lot of people are now calling this the internet, the industrial revolution too. So the first city or smart city to have SkyWay put in is a city called Dharamshala, which is over in India, I believe, and they are going to have the system implemented into their area. So it's only about 4 or 5 kilometres, I believe, but it's a stretch of area that has been needing something like this for many, many, many years. So you'll see a couple of our people here on the left-hand picture. There's a man there. He's a man standing up next to his wife. I think her name is Olga. And that's Anatoly sitting down signing some documentation. Down the bottom left is some of our team that you see there in SkyWay. Some of the other ones are representatives of that government. So with that, up the top right corner, you'll see the Dalai Lama with Anatoly Yunitsky. Now, when he first met him, he said to him, "You're doing the best thing you could ever do. Don't give up what you're doing. This is absolutely amazing." And he said, "Keep doing it, what you're doing." So he has done that, and the Dalai Lama has actually introduced him to that first project, I believe, with the Dharamshala project. So as I say, guys, India is really going big there. They've got about 3 or 4 different projects that are happening as we speak across 19 different cities. And there's a lot of discussions and meetings and exhibitions and all that type of thing going on there. So targeted SkyWay project in India, as I say, a comprehensive solution to complicated transport problems in the state is estimated at US dollars 922 million, while it will create about 1,000 jobs. Okay, so there we go. India has spent $922 million putting this infrastructure in. So they're one of the first countries on board, and the great thing about this is it's going to create a lot of jobs for those local areas. So with Anatoly's technology, what he does, he lets the local areas create or build these projects for themselves. He only basically sells on the intellectual property to these countries. So as I was saying, like India is coming on board. We're opening up an office in Delhi. That will be happening in about 2 weeks' time. So there's some huge opportunities here, guys. If you do live in India or know of people who are in India that may be in the, the throes at the moment of, wanting to change their career or things like that, here's an excellent opportunity, guys, to get into this. So what is in it for you? Well, guys, I would recommend highly to go back to the person that introduced you to this, because you don't realise it yet, but you have probably not seen the bigger picture, maybe not at this stage, but once you have seen that bigger picture, you'll fully understand what this is all about. But on the 1st of July, as I was saying earlier, we have got the big event, which is the Eco Techno Park visit, and that's going to be open up to the public. There was 5,000 tickets available. I believe it's under 500 tickets left now. It may only be a few hundred left now, if that. So in 2 weeks' time, guys, we are doing the grand opening with the office over in Delhi. So if anyone thinks that they have what it takes, to to step up in that area and wants to become involved in the office over there, you can contact me through Skype or go back to the person that you were first introduced to. So any questions and answers, guys? I'm going to open up that now and see if we have any questions actually at the moment. Let's have a look. So guys, if you've got any questions, just type them in now and I'll help you to answer any of those that you may have. I see we've got a couple of people there at the moment. Look, if you don't have any questions at the moment or you can think of anything later on, just let us know. Just leave them in the Facebook group, SkyWay New Zealand, or our YouTube channel, which is also SkyWay New Zealand, and we can answer anything like that afterwards. Now just get to the next screen. Here we go. So guys, thank you very much tonight for coming along. My name is Darren Hayward, and if you need to contact me at all through Skype for anything at all, that's my name there, just one word, okay? And thank you very much at all as well for coming along tonight.